The one they thought they could erase with lies, with ridicule, with cold, calculated attacks that left scars invisible to everyone else. But you felt it. Every jab, every betrayal, every sly little knife shoved into your back. And now it's burning, it's screaming, and it's yours. It's yours to wield. Because what they did to you, what they dared to throw at you, is unforgivable. They crossed lines no one should cross. They shattered trust. They twisted words. They tested limits that should never have been touched. And if you sit there quietly, if you pretend it didn't happen, then they win. And no, you are not here to hand them victory. Not now, not ever. Look at them. All of them. Smirking, sneering, thinking their attacks were invisible, thinking their insults could crawl under your skin and stay there like poisonous little spiders. Huh? Did they really believe that? Did they really think a few words, a few actions could define you, could bend you to their rules, could make you small, silent, broken? They underestimated one thing: your fire, your capacity to rise. The part of you that remembers every cruel whisper, every unfair jab, every underhanded shove toward despair. They left you bruised. Yes, they left you wary. Maybe even angry, but they also left you sharp, alert, dangerous in ways they will never understand. And now, here's the choice: crumble or ignite. You've been pushed, tested, prodded, and yes, betrayed. People you thought were allies turned into shadows. Shadows whispering things that cut deeper than knives. But listen closely. Shadows exist because there is light. That's right. Every act against you is a reflection of your strength. Every unfair attack, every betrayal. They are the proof that you are bigger than their cruelty. No one can define you but you. And it's intoxicating to realize that truth. To feel the surge when you realize they gave you something they never meant to. Power. Real, unrelenting power. If only you dare to take it. But here's the dangerous part. Here's where most people falter. Most people stare at the wound. They lick it. They pity themselves. And while they drown in bitterness, the world moves. The world does not wait. But you've got something different. You've got a spark, a twisted, chaotic spark that whispers revenge. No, retribution? Not exactly. Something far sharper. Something that cuts deeper than anger alone. You take everything they threw at you and you bend it. You sharpen it. You forge it into a weapon of focus, a strategy, a clarity that blinds the careless and unsettles the arrogant. They think they hurt you. Oh, they have no idea. They merely handed you the keys. And here's the truth. They will never tell you. The world does not owe you forgiveness. The world does not care. The world does not notice. So why would you waste time begging it for justice? No, justice is yours to claim. Power is yours to seize. Every slight, every insult, every attack, every unfair turn of fate is raw material, and it's waiting for your hands to mold it into something more potent than rage, something more potent than revenge, something definitive. Because when you rise from the shadows, when you stare down the ones who thought they could break you, nothing else will matter. Nothing. They will remember you. Not with fear, not with respect, but with the realization that they touched something untouchable in a different sense. The fire in your veins, the storm in your mind, the chaos in your soul that refuses to be contained. Do you feel it? That tension? That itch crawling up your spine? That's your moment calling. The moment where you can either stay a victim or stand as a force they never anticipated. The moment where their words, their attacks, their betrayal, everything they poured into breaking you becomes the blueprint for your resurgence. You've been underestimated. You've been tested. You've been challenged. And now, you are awake, fully awake, ready to move, ready to fight, ready to turn their attacks into your armor, ready to show them the cost of crossing the line. Because here's the brutal, thrilling truth. Once they've crossed that line, once they've done the unforgivable, the choice is no longer about forgiveness. The choice is about transformation, about rising so fiercely, so unpredictably, that their memory of you becomes a warning. Ah, yes, a warning that nothing and no one will ever bend you in the way they imagined. And that, my friend, is the beginning, the spark, the first pulse of what comes next. And if you pay attention, if you dare, if you embrace the chaos of their attacks and convert it into focus, into strategy, into relentless, sharp precision, then nothing in this world will ever feel the same again. They crossed the line. They challenged you. They underestimated you. And now it's your turn. Not to cry, not to plead, not to whimper in regret. No, it's your turn to rise, to strike, to transform every ounce of pain into clarity, every drop of anger into vision, every scar into proof that they made the biggest mistake of their lives. And as you take that first step, heart pounding, mind racing, the fire uncontainable, remember this: what they did to you is unforgivable. And that is exactly why you will never ever be the same again. Nah, don't rush past this feeling. Sit with it. Let it tighten your jaw and steady your breath. This is the moment where excuses fall apart. This is where you stop replaying what they did and start deciding what you will do. Because pain without direction becomes noise. Pain with direction becomes leverage. They expected you to fold, to shrink, to apologize for existing too loudly. But here you are, standing at the edge of a decision that changes everything. Stay predictable, or become precise. They want you distracted. They want you emotional, reactive, scattered. That's how attacks work. Not to destroy you outright, but to keep you spinning in circles while they move comfortably ahead. No, no, no. You don't give them that luxury anymore. You slow down. You observe. You remember every pattern. Who spoke when it mattered? Who stayed silent? Who smiled while the damage was done? This is not paranoia. This is awareness. And awareness is dangerous in the hands of someone who refuses to stay weak. Here's the part they never prepare for. When someone stops begging to be understood. When someone stops explaining themselves. When someone decides that results will speak louder than any defense ever could. Huh? That silence? That calm you're building? It terrifies people who rely on chaos to stay relevant. Because once you stop reacting, you start choosing. And once you start choosing, every move becomes intentional, calculated, clean. You don't need to shout. You don't need to threaten. You don't need to expose anyone. You simply need to improve in ways that make their past actions look foolish. That's the real shift. The quiet discipline. The nights where you sharpen your skills instead of rehearsing arguments. The mornings where you build instead of brood. Every step forward turns their attacks into dead weight. And the heavier that weight gets, the harder it is for them to pretend they were right. Understand this clearly. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves explanations. Some people only understand distance. Some only learn when the door closes without a sound. You are allowed to protect your focus. You are allowed to choose who gets your time, your energy, your attention. Nah, that's not cruelty. That's maturity. That's knowing that not every battle deserves your presence. And yes, there will be moments when anger resurfaces, when memory sneaks back in, when the unfairness feels fresh again. Let it come. Let it pass. Don't let it steer. Anger is fuel, not a driver. You aim for it. You contain it. You turn it into momentum. People who lose control become predictable. People who master control become impossible to corner. That's the difference between reacting and rising. Watch how the dynamic shifts when you stop chasing validation, when you stop correcting lies, when you stop proving your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. It's almost funny. Suddenly they notice the silence. Suddenly they wonder why their words don't land anymore. Suddenly the power they thought they had starts evaporating. Not because you fought back, but because you stepped beyond their reach. This is where discipline replaces drama, where structure replaces chaos. You set routines. You set standards. You move with purpose, even when motivation dips, especially when motivation dips. That consistency, it rewires you. It turns you into someone who doesn't rely on moods or approval, someone who moves forward, whether anyone is watching or not. And that terrifies people who only perform when there's an audience. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them misjudge. Every underestimation works in your favor now. While they cling to old versions of you, you are building something new, stronger, sharper, more controlled. You're not here to impress them. You're here to outgrow the situation entirely. And growth done quietly is the most unsettling kind. So ask yourself this: who do you become after the line is crossed? Someone who stays frozen in the moment of impact, or someone who uses that moment as a turning point? Nah, the answer is already forming. You feel it in how your posture changes, in how your voice steadies, in how your patience stretches longer than it used to. That's not a weakness. That's preparation. Because the next phase isn't about proving anything. It's about execution, about alignment, about becoming so grounded in your path that distractions lose their grip. They thought the attack was the end of you. They thought the damage would define you. They were wrong, completely wrong. This was the sharpening, and what comes next is movement. Now it begins. The part they never saw coming. The part where pain turns into precision. Where anger is no longer a flame that burns you from the inside. It becomes the fuel that drives every move you make. You've felt the sting, the betrayal, the insult, and now it's all sharpening you. Forgive? Forget? Not necessary. You don't need to erase what happened. You need to use it, to harness it, to mold it into a version of yourself that is unstoppable, not because you demand it, but because you've earned it. Every slight, every line they crossed, every attack they thought would break you, it's the backbone of your rise. And the beauty of it? They can't stop it. They can't touch it. They never prepared for this. Look around. See the patterns. The people who underestimated you, the systems that tried to grind you down, the moments of isolation they thought would weaken you, all of it has led you here. And here is where control becomes power, where patience becomes strategy, where observation turns into insight. Yes, insight. The ability to see the game before it's played, to move pieces silently while others shout and stumble. This is your arena now. Quiet, calculated, relentless. You don't need applause. You don't need acknowledgement. You need results. And results have a language all their own. Do you feel it in your veins? That pulse? That rhythm of intent? That's transformation. Not the loud, chaotic kind that demands attention, but the kind that infiltrates everything. Every decision sharper. Every reaction measured. Every step forward, leaving a mark invisible to those too blind to see. They thought they could shake you. They thought they could define your limits. They didn't realize that limits are illusions, and the illusion shatters when someone chooses to redefine themselves. Not for revenge, not for recognition, but because they know what they are capable of. Now, focus. Every ounce of energy you've spent reliving attacks, every second you've lingered on unfairness, you turn it into action, into skill, into dominance over your own path. You decide who deserves your trust, your attention, your effort. You decide the terms. And once you do, the ones who thought they mattered, they fade into background noise. They can only watch as you construct a reality they never imagined. That's the quiet power of transformation. It doesn't roar, it doesn't plead. It simply moves and everything else rearranges around it. And this is where fear enters, but not yours. I know. Your fear has been conquered. Their fear, the unease, the discomfort, the panic when they realize they miscalculated, is your tool. Every misjudgment they made, every attack they launched, every line they crossed, it compounds. It fuels the precision of your ascent. They built your foundation, and now you stand on it, taller, sharper, calculated, prepared. Every step forward leaves an echo that reminds them crossing the line has consequences they cannot measure. So here's the final piece. The transformation is not a moment. It is a continuum, a path forged from every slight, every insult, every unfair twist of fate. The power is not in striking back. It is in becoming so complete, so formidable, so undeniably you that the attacks lose meaning. They no longer touch you because you have moved beyond their scope. You've redefined the game. You've rewritten the rules. And you've done it quietly, deliberately, without need for spectacle. That is mastery. That is empowerment. That is the consequence of being crossed in ways they believed would break you. And now, it is yours. The fire, the focus, the clarity, the relentless drive to rise. the awareness that no one can define your limits, the understanding that their attacks, though cruel, were the catalyst for a version of yourself they never imagined. Yes, they created the spark. And you've built the flame. A flame that does not burn recklessly. A flame that illuminates your path and exposes the weakness in theirs. A flame that transforms every wound into strength, every insult into momentum, every betrayal into an edge. Step forward. Claim your space. Move with intention. Not for vengeance, not for spectacle. For yourself. For the undeniable force you were always meant to become. And remember this. The line was crossed. The attacks were launched. The damage was done. And that is why you are now beyond them. Beyond their judgment. Beyond their control. And nothing will ever be the same again. Don't just stand there, letting the fire simmer. Feel it. Every pulse, every heartbeat. That anger, that pain, that energy they left behind, it's yours to wield, and wield it you will. Not recklessly, not chaotically, but with precision, with intention. Every move, every step, every decision from this moment forward is yours to control. They thought they had the map. They thought they knew the game. But now the board is yours. Every piece, every strategy, every outcome bends to the force you've forged in silence.